Hi guys, this is Android Nub, and these are the best games of the week. First up we have Shardlands, a 3D puzzle adventure game published by Breach Entertainment. Here's an interesting adventure game with very nice graphics. The controls are click and point, and this game is touch controlled. There's a lot of maps where you run around to find the portal to the exit. There's some interesting puzzles like having to move these platforms around in order to pass. There's some enemies that you can kill or run away from. You can double tap to sprint. And it's a cool touch-based adventure game with puzzle elements, and it kinda has a story. Next up we have RumbleBots, a 3D robot arena game published by Zudenken Entertainment. This is one of those robot arena battle type games. I'm not sure what they're called. They create a robot and you can give him different weapons and engines, and you fight against other robots. The graphics are decent. You control your robot with a joystick and you have a button to attack. The game is fun, but the controls could use some work. Sometimes it's hard to maneuver around with the joystick, but this game is kind of fun. There isn't too much customization, but it's an interesting game.
You win!
Next up we have Amateur Surgeon 3, a 2D comedic surgery game published by Adult Swim Games. In this game you play a surgeon who operates on a big variety of different patients. There is kind of like a story and a lot of funny dialogue before each stage. This game is meant to be funny and unrealistic, so you're stapling people's cuts and then you're burning it to hold it in place, and then you put this green glue on it to heal it. Sometimes you like remove certain organs and put in new organs. The game is completely touch controlled and the controls are very easy to use. It's actually a fun game where you perform all these wacky operations with a large variety of instruments and stages. Next up we have Oni 1, a 2D casual action game published by Ernest, Szoka. At first glance, this looks like a simple game with bad graphics, but it's actually kind of fun. You control your character with a joystick and you attack enemies that randomly appear. You can level up and get skills. The fighting's not super fluid, but it's a fun casual game, and any game where you can knock enemies off a cliff gets a 10 in my book. Next up we have HonorBound, a 2D RPG published by JuiceBox Games. Here's a fairly high quality 2D RPG. The game has a big map with lots of levels, there is a story and character dialogue. You move by just tapping on the map. The combat's turn-based, and you tap the enemies to attack them. One cool thing is you can actually capture enemies and then they join your party. So you can build up your party. There's a lot to do in this game and it's really worth checking out. Next up we have Team Monster, a 2D casual RPG published by Mobage. In this game you play a character and you can collect different monsters to join your party. It kinda has a story, but you're mostly going through stages on many different maps, fighting through waves of enemies. So you can control your party members by dragging them around. Their skills you can level up and collect new monsters. Graphics are really cute and cartoony, but it still looks nice. It's an interesting casual RPG to check out. Next up we have Dungeon Madness, a 2D dungeon crawler RPG published by Pancik. Here's another game with rather simple graphics, but it's also another fun game. You control your character by tapping, and you attack enemies by tapping on them. It's an RPG where you can collect items and equip your character, and get new skills and level up. There's a lot of levels to go through, and you can pretty much smash everything like smash tables. The graphics are simple but charming. They also added some story dialogue when you go through doors. Overall, it's a fairly interesting RPG. Next up we have Battle G Girls, a 2D casual card game published by Feerik. In this card game you can collect cards that resemble some fairly sensual looking female characters. This game is actually very simple compared to most other card games. So you battle against the enemy, and each card has their special ability. Basically you roll the tiles and choose which ones you want to lock in. Mostly you're trying to lock in the ones that activate your ability, and also the punch icon which attacks the enemy, and then the cards attack each other, and whoever does more damage wins. I guess the whole tile thing kind of makes this game unique. Next up we have BloodRealm War of Gods, a 2D card game published by Kongregate. So again, we have another card game. This one's more complex. So this game has a ton of levels to go through. Like all card games, you collect new cards. You have your hero card, then you can play other cards to attack the enemy. The goal is to kill the enemy hero. So you have mana in this game to summon cards. There's spell cards, which is cool, which you can use to attack enemies or to buff your characters. So basically you play your cards and take turns with the enemy. You can customize your deck, evolve, and level up your cards. It's not too bad. Next, we have Deadman's Cross, a 2D zombie card-based RPG published by Square Enix. This game is very similar to Square Enix's Guardian Cross game. There's this hunt mode where you shoot these shadows to get new cards, which are supposed to be zombies. This game does have story elements, so it is kind of like an RPG. There's a lot of character dialogue and quests to do. The combat is very simple and automated. You have your deck of zombies, and they just automatically attack each other. In fact, Square Enix wants you to fast forward the combat. You cannot get that flashing fast forward thing to go away. It's like they know the combat's boring. Although the combat's kinda lacking, there's still a lot to do in this game, a lot of cards to get, and kinda like a story and quests to do. Last, we have Slam Dunk Basketball 2, a 2D casual basketball game published by VisualDreams. So this is a really simple online basketball game. You play against other real people online, and the goal is to beat their score by scoring as many baskets as possible. The controls are easy to use, just kind of swipe the screen to choose your shooting angle, and then your release to shoot your ball. There's 3 different modes, 2 head-to-head modes and 1 tournament mode. It's a simple and fun online basketball shooting game. Anyway, that's all for this week. Make sure you guys subscribe for more videos, and thanks for watching.